Since the Democrats switched candidates in late July, Donald Trump's twisted relationship with facts, logic, and basic communication seems to be catching up to him.
This photo of presidential nominee Donald Trump, circulated by the Economic Club of New York, was taken during his speech to the organization in New York City on September 5, 2024. Joe Biden's withdrawal from the presidential race in July led to a shift in the media landscape, which included greater focus and open discussion of Trump's cognitive health. This scrutiny was primed by several public appearances in which Trump made bizarre statements. The increased attention has heightened concerns about Trump's perplexing tangents and baseless claims in rallies and interviews. I'm really entranced by the body language in the photos from this event. In the professional world, it's natural, almost standard, to maintain respect for a speaker and at least keep a poker face, no matter what they say or do. For that reason, the facial expressions of these leading economists, who know they're on television, by the way, is extraordinary to me. Even Trump's former economic advisor, Larry Kudlow, in the back is looking down.
This photo features Reshma Saujani, who is a member of the Economic Club of New York. She's also the founder of an organization called Girls Who Code, which is a nonprofit devoted to introducing girls to tech careers. And more broadly, she's an activist for economic policy that's friendly to families and especially working women. And in her question to Trump, she wanted to know what specific legislation he would forward to make childcare more affordable for families. Her question provided hard data. For example, she pointed out that for many Americans, childcare is more expensive than rent. Trump's response was widely reported to be word salad. He seemed to suggest that tariffs on foreign imports would somehow improve childcare costs. And when J.D. Vance was asked a similar question about childcare, he initially said people should just rely on grandparents or aunts and uncles to help out. And so the moment went viral because it proved the Trump-Vance campaign really doesn't have a childcare policy plan. What's compelling to me about the photo in this regard is a couple of things. First, this photo was taken while Saujani was asking her question. And it's a moment where Trump is actually listening to a woman speak, and a woman of color in particular. And that's a relatively unusual situation. I think it's important to note that. We typically see Trump talking and interrupting, not having to listen to a question grounded in data. And I also think that the photo structure has a quality which is interesting in the context of the question at hand. Saujani and the woman in the front row, whose name is Becky Quick, she is a CNBC journalist, they're off to the side in this composition, separated by a kind of cutoff line of the blue curtain behind them. So while Trump and the rest of the older white men in the image are all together on one side of that line, demarcated by the curtain, the two women in the photograph are on the other. There's a way that this photo works metaphorically to kind of bolster the very nature of Saujani's question, which is that it is often women in the workforce who have to deal with the implications of the cost of childcare in the family.
Trump's press conference the next day was just as incoherent, following his return to Trump Tower after an appeal hearing concerning his sexual abuse conviction. Trump insulted and confused his attorneys, dismayed the Trump Tower staff, and even concerned his own son. With all that focus on him, as the campaign enters its final stages, the images from the elite economic club highlight why Trump mostly restricts his appearances to the most friendly audiences.